Hello, Aquarius. I need to talk a little bit about the energy that I'm coming into this reading with because I've started this reading a few times and I'm feeling overwhelmed with a sense of like second guessing ourselves, of like second guessing, of not feeling entirely confident. And there's no reason for that at all. Like I've started the reading a couple times simply because the narrative was like kind of all over the place. I was kind of all over the place, so I had to like take a beat, drink some water, kind of do my whole thing. But usually when that happens, that doesn't normally just happen. It usually happens because I'm picking up on stuff from you guys. And I'm picking up on a feeling of being quite rattled or quite sort of shaken or ungrounded. And now here we got the first two cards that came out, Death reversed. Like, yeah, you're in this process of turning over from an old version of self into a new version. That the jargon nowadays in this community is like switching timelines, right? You're kind of warping, so to speak, from like one trajectory into another trajectory. If I can kind of pull that and use that verbiage, if that helps you for visualization, great. But that's kind of the essence of what's happening, and the transition is very disharmonious. It's not a smooth transition at all. And you're kind of bouncing around people, and you're evolving, but also hitting up against real life, practical kind of stuff. You got all the 12th house stuff, you got all the 4th house stuff, and it's just a lot. And here Death is reversed, but also 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is like, first of all, things coming to you. Sometimes it can feel like a deluge, like a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities, a lot of doors opening, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. But usually 8 of Wands is like such a blessing. And there are so many things that you're going to be grateful for over the upcoming months. And you're moving really, really fast. So you might be feeling this like shaken feeling, but you are moving and progressing so fast. In the next 2 months, you're going to look back to today and be like, holy cow, what was I even worried about? That was so dumb. Because that's how quickly the evolution is happening for you. And when you're in the thick of it, you can't see it. And it feels like it's like an eternity. But, looking back, you're going to be like, oh my, it was like nothing. So 8 of Wands is really encouraging. So keep your eye on the ball. Whatever those goals you've got, it's not a time to worry about anybody else. Yes, you may have a significant other, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a love interest, someone that you're really interested in, and that's fine, but it's not for them right now. And you can be together and have some kind of a nice, you be an independent person, I be an independent person, we'll come together, we'll talk about our day, we'll do our kind of couple thing, but like you really need this for you. And they're really going to need it for them. And as you evolve and as you become more and more whole and more evolved, that love has the potential to only become stronger. If you're dealing with an Aquarian and they're MIA right now, like, just let them be MIA with no judgment, because that's just kind of their MO. They really need to be alone a lot of times. They need to do their own thing a lot of times. If you're trying to date an Aquarian and it's not going super well, I wouldn't wait. Honestly, I wouldn't wait. If they're not showing interest in you, just move on. It's just not worth it. They'll reappear. Like when an Aquarian is into you, they're super into you. Like there's no question. So, just take that for what it is. So this is what they've got going on, right? Aquarius, this is what you've got going on. You're headed straight into opportunity, straight into abundance. This is seed planting time, right? Aries and Taurus season. Aries is the time when you like plant the seeds, and Taurus season is when you like make sure that those seeds have all the nutrients and nourishment that they need. They have the proper pH in the soil, the right amount of air, the right amount of sunlight, so that they can grow. And your seeds, Aquarius, are going to start growing really, really fast. There's money on the table. There's romance on the table. There's, I think for you, a lot of health things that could be going really well if you're dealing with health stuff. I have a feeling a lot of that could potentially start working itself out. You know, you guys have Neptune in the second house. That's kind of a tough placement in terms of health, you know. Neptune, it's Aquarius ascendants and it's Libra ascendants. They have the Neptune in the second house and the sixth house. So health for them is just kind of a weird thing, trying to diagnose stuff, trying to figure stuff out, trying to like get behind the symptoms and like really figure out the true diagnosis of what they're dealing with. And I have a feeling that's going to come to an end. Could really potentially come to an end, and you could actually find the solutions to the things you're looking for. Two aces, guys. This is the most encouraging reading of the month, I think, to be honest with you. So all this second guessing or all this kind of feeling of hesitation has no merit. The passion and the manifestation, you get both. It's not just like, oh, I have a desire, so I'm going to start doing stuff now. It's like, okay, well, here's a desire. And you actually get to touch it, put your hands on it. You actually get to deposit it into your bank account. You actually get to like wrap your arms around it and give it a big hug. So, I mean, it's the real deal. And the more optimistic you can be in a time when it might feel kind of hard to be optimistic, or it might not necessarily hard to be optimistic. Let's not project that out there. But in a time when you just feel like there's a lot of unknowns, it is in those times of unknowns that really anything is possible, you know? So your heart's going to start lighting on fire, and you're going to start feeling a passion for life. Passion for life. Start feeling like really alive. Two of Wands. You're looking right at it. You know, you're literally looking right at the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands is a new business venture, converting a passion project into an actual livelihood. It could be a sexual connection or a passionate love affair. It could be just incorporating a new hobby into your daily lives. Usually an Ace of Wands is something more active. It's associated with fire. I usually see it as very Aries oriented, you know? And Two of Wands is about the intentions. Setting the intentions for yourself. Look, I know you want this stuff. I know that you have outcomes in mind. So it's time for you to start feeling and start acting as though those things are already in your life. Like for example, so I have a hairdresser, and she and her husband have side-by-side stations. He's a hairdresser too. So every time I go get my hair done, like I just went blonde, right? So I was in a chair for like 8 hours, but like they were there, they were both there. So we were all talking, and we were both talking about motorcycles and how he was going to go buy a motorcycle in June and And he's like, yeah, I'm so excited. I already went and got my helmet and my shoes. And so he starts showing me his helmet and his boots and stuff that he bought. And his wife is like, oh my God. But like, no, like that's the kind of action to take. Like you might not be buying the motorcycle today, but you might as well go buy the helmet because you know that motorcycle is around the corner, right? So that's kind of silly story just to kind of describe what this is. Go buy the motorcycle helmet. Go do that because you know the motorcycle is right around the corner, and it literally is. Like those blessings that you've been like wanting so bad, like the universe heard you. You put it out there maybe last year, and it's coming. Oh my God, you guys. This is like the best reading. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. This is a card of victory. It's a card of success. It's a card of following your heart. Again, a theme of the month. It's a card of people being behind you and supporting you. But look, you're the one on the horse. You need to understand, like, this is about you. If you are out there seeking a love interest and wanting to be in love or wanting to get someone to commit, this is not a good time to worry about it. Everyone is in their weird space, and trying to get anyone to do anything to conform and to mold to your idea of what you want for your life is just not a good idea. Like, do the things for you and that's it. So 6 of Wands, when you do that, you become hypnotic and magnetic, and people are naturally going to gravitate to you. They're going to feel pulled to your energy and compelled to be in your presence. We as a human species, we want to be next to people who have stuff going on for themselves. So when you have stuff going on for yourself, all the other pieces are going to just line up in a row. Just line up with practically no effort. Practically no effort whatsoever. It's usually what happens when you start letting go of beliefs of barriers, beliefs of boundaries, When you start releasing those beliefs and those fears, everything just falls into place. And here we have a card of divinity, a card of the divine path. This is very Cancerian, and it works very well with Mars moving into Cancer. So Mars comes into Cancer in your 6th house. You may have a tendency during that time frame to isolate, to go into your, hermit space and to be quiet for a couple months. This is why, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, just they're in their Aquarius space that no one else understands. They're just doing their thing, and don't worry about it, right? They'll emerge eventually. It'll be fine. They'll emerge. They'll show up on your phone. They'll show up at the event, at the party. They'll get there. They'll get there. They're following a path. They're on some whole big thing. Okay. They're on some whole big thing. So Aquarius, you are becoming whole, as we see with the black and white, the duality. When we become whole, we become our own yin yang, we become unstoppable. There is upward mobility as indicated with the Chariot. So for those of you looking for professional progress, it's likely to happen, or steps in that direction are likely to unfold. If you're looking for a romantic partnership, it's very likely for that to happen. Can't isolate too much if you want that, but you got to still get out there. You got to still be seen. But it's likely that commitment might actually happen. Okay. I love this card and its connection with Aquarius because of the stars in the canopy above his chariot there. Stars, so especially relevant, Aquarius, outer space, the cosmos, and all of that, because it really is your connection. It's your place in all of this. It's your relevance in all of this. And I think you're going to really start understanding how you're relevant, and also how a lot of it is meaningless. So you don't need to be so stressed out. It's relevance and meaningless coming together in a weird mesh of happiness and bliss and just enjoying life. And the final 2 cards, 7 of Wands reversed. What did I say about letting things go? This is not a time to get out to the front lines and start battling your way through. It's not the time. You may be feeling unfocused. That's Uranus stuff. Okay. Mercury over Uranus, Venus over Uranus. It's going to come in and out. It's a flash in the pan energy. It's not a big deal. It's just something, okay, you're feeling unfocused. Mars comes into Cancer. You might feel a little bit more prone to doing the mundane kinds of things. It's not really your vibe. Unless you have a lot of earth in your chart, I don't normally see my Aquarians really enjoying sitting down and going through their bank statements and balancing their books or cleaning their house, or they don't necessarily enjoy those things. They'd rather be out, seeing the world, adventuring, learning, digging, and becoming more enlightened in all of this. So the fact that the mundane is not really, upright, that's to be expected, but you may see that coming online a little bit more for you over the next couple months. The easier you can do your life, the more flow you can go about your life, it's just all going to be like better, Okay, let's go ahead and put the camera down. We'll start pulling from the other decks. Whoops, hold on, sorry. I did that backwards. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So, let's move that. Pull from this deck here. Ooh, Knight of Wands. And the Queen of Swords. Okay. Let me think on this for a minute. The Knight of Wands has been coming in and kind of creating a little bit of disturbance for a lot of the signs. Now, this is a card of Sagittarius, but it could be any zodiac sign. But I feel a very tempting vibe from this. I think it's an essence of yourself. This is probably why the Eight of Coins is reversed here, and even the Seven of Wands here. Because while the Sagittarius nature, the Sagittarius within you, which is relevant to you because it's your 11th house, your natural house, okay? So taking on a Sagittarian quality of optimism, but also too like the Jupiter quality here coming through, and being all like, let's not stress out, like life is meant to be enjoyed, life is meant to be like fluid and motion, and you don't need to lock yourself into any concepts and all this stuff, I feel like that's kind of coming out here, and I think you're the Knight of Wands here. And in a way, you're really both, and you may be dealing with a Queen of Swords. So we're getting Sagittarius and Libra energies, but it could be any fire or air. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, okay? This one's a little bit more harsh. You may be feeling like while you're going through all of this, someone else might actually be really being harsh with you. Or you may have experienced a very harsh circumstance with someone, you're running away from them. I feel this because of all the wand energy coming through. You're in a very fiery place for some reason. Feeling very passionate, very drawn, very spontaneous, very unpredictable. And here is someone who's probably not really handling it very well, who probably really doesn't like they don't like that you're running away from them, but you might be running away from them because they're being really cold, and they might not know how cold they're being. They might not know how uninviting they're being. If this is someone that you love, Aquarius, communication is so important. This is not someone that really handles surprise very well. This is not someone that really is as flexible as you right now. This is someone that is rigid. Let's just say it. They're rigid. And they have no patience. So if this is someone you want to keep in your life and you really love them, you need to tell them what's going on with you. And you need to not surprise them. And you need to not project anything on them. And if they perceive you as being selfish here, then they're not gonna have it. They're just gonna disappear from your life. Okay? So just pay attention to how they're responding to what you're going through right now. When I say this is all about you, this is a very independent person. They can handle that, but they need to know that you're still with them. If you don't want them anymore, then fine, and whatever kind of cold behavior they're giving them, then it's irrelevant. If you are cross-watching and you're coming out as like this Queen of Swords person, and you're like, oh my God, what is my Aquarius doing? It could be, sorry Aquarius, but a little disrespectful on their part for not like, hey, Queen of Swords, this is what's going on. I'll call you in a couple months or whatever, I don't think Aquarius is going off and being entirely irresponsible. I don't think that they are going off and, trying to create havoc or chaos in anyone else's life. It's not the intention, but unfortunately it could be the kind of aftermath of like a 8 of Wands and an Ace of Coins and an Ace of Wands, They're just maybe not so much paying attention to the effects. Okay, so Aquarius, just pay attention, right? Be cognizant. That's all I got. That's all I'm saying. We'll clarify that in a second. Let's pull an astrology card. Like that one wanted to come out. The Grand Trine, a card of blessings. So, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory, right? Blessings. Blessings are what is in the works for you. Goes so well with the 8 of Wands. I don't even need to explain it anymore. So let's go ahead and clarify. So these are going to be the cards that we'll cover in the comprehensive. We talk for an additional 20 to 25 minutes usually. And the link will be in the description box down below. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Death card first. Oh, Temperance. Chill out. Super chill, super relaxed. Everything is working out. Oh, another Ace of Coins. Wow. Some of you may really have jobs transitioning. You may have promotions, pay raises, that kind of thing. Don't feel sad for the things that you're gonna get. Don't hold back. Oh, another 8 of Wands. Life is taking you forward. So it doesn't matter if you don't hear from that person. It doesn't matter if you don't get that apology. It doesn't matter if this. It doesn't matter if that. Life is taking you forward. Be in that moment the way a Knight of Wands can be, the way an Aquarius can be, right? That's one of the things that is like enviable, is the ability for an Aquarius to be in the moment the way a lot of other people can't be. I think you have multiple people involved, multiple players in this particular point of your life. I love the King of Cups for you in this particular scenario. Okay, we're getting a King of Cups and we're getting a Queen of Coins associated with each ace. So there might be multiple opportunities with different people coming through. If you even for 1 second entertain the idea that you're not ready, you need to get that thought out of your mind as soon as possible. It's not true. There's potential for Aquarius to really self-sabotage right now. You're walking that fine line. Those of you who aren't afraid and walk through the door and enter into unknown things, you are going to be handsomely rewarded. Okay? Handsomely rewarded. Wow. Like even financially. But you cannot throw a wrench in your own spokes. You just can't do it. It's not fair to you. Like, you've worked too hard to get to where you are. You know, you don't need to shut your own doors. Another Knight of Wands. running in the same kind of direction. See, here's the communication there. That's what's needed. You can run in two directions here, right? Or can you? Some of you may be breaking up with someone in pursuit of something better. And when I say better, all I mean is better suited for your lifestyle at this moment in time. So don't be offended if you're a cross watcher. I don't mean that you're inferior in any way, shape, or form, but it's probably a blessing if it doesn't work out. Honestly, it's probably a blessing. One card for the astrology card, strength reversed, and then the bottom of the deck, death reversed again. So the death reverse theme clearly meant for you. You're not quite through the transition, but you're getting there, okay? Which is why I think the tendency to pull back or the tendency to wait, for those of you who are in committed relationships, you may be struggling with your own progress versus like bringing someone along with you, which is why that separation is needed at this time temporarily, okay? All right, Aquarius, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for everything. And if you want to join me in the comprehensive, again, the link will be in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much. Take care.